a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC Worldwide and Jib Jab greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Your full AccuWeather forecast, it's right up on top here on your CNC local news page. A poll released Thursday by the Siena Research Institute finds Democratic Congresswoman Louise Slaughter leading her Republican challenger, Monroe County Executive Maggie Brooks, by 10 points, with less than 6 weeks to go until the election. The polling institute at Siena College in Loudonville finds that 52% of likely voters in the new 25th district would go for Slaughter if the election had been held the day they were interviewed. The three-term incumbent had a 4-1 lead in the heavily Democratic city of Rochester, more than enough to offset Brooks' 10-point lead in the western portion of the district. How those polled plan to vote depends on whether they're already being represented by Louise Slaughter or not. Only about a third of the new 25th includes towns in Slaughter's current district, but she has a huge 43-point lead there. Brooks gets most of her support from voters in the new parts of the district. She leads there by 6 points. Voters say Slaughter will do the better job in Washington, representing them on health care, education, and the war in Afghanistan. They are more closely divided on who would be better on jobs, taxes, and the federal budget deficit. The redrawn 25th district is entirely in Monroe County. As drawn, it has a 9-point enrollment edge for Democrats. Those who identified as Democrats support Slaughter by 86%. Those who told the posters they were Republicans went 75% for Brooks. And Brooks also has an 11-point lead with the independents. As with any poll, this is a snapshot of people's opinions the day it was taken. There's still more than a month to go until the election, millions being spent to support one candidate or the other, and anything could still happen. The George Eastman House International Museum of Photography and Film has a new director whose career background has included the arts, museums, online learning, and investment management. Dr. Bruce Barnes will become the 8th director of the East Avenue Museum in October. As the Ron and Donna Fielding director, Barnes will head the world's oldest museum of photography and one of the world's largest motion picture archives. Barnes is the president and founder of American Decorative Art 1900 Foundation. That's a private New York City-based foundation that works with museums across the country to foster understanding and appreciation of American decorative art from that period around 1900, and he is co-author or co-publisher of 2 books on the subject. Barnes was chief executive officer of Element K, a Rochester-based company that pioneered online learning from 2000 to 2004. He's also held executive positions at Ziff Communications and several investment firms. Dr. Barnes said one of his goals is to create a virtual museum that will provide global access to the Eastman House IMP collections, and Barnes was chosen by an international search process to take over from Dr. Anthony Bannon, who retired in May after 16 years as head of the Eastman House. The University of Rochester has been issued a patent for technology that has improved the eyesight of tens of thousands of people around the world and reduced the need for patients to undergo a second eye surgery. The patent was issued this week for work done by Dr. Scott McCrae, director of the Refractive Surgery Center at the U of R's Pflaum Eye Institute, and Manoj Venkateshwar, a former postdoctorate researcher at the Center for Visual Science. Together they invented the Rochester nomogram. That is a complicated formula that helps physicians determine how surgery, such as LASIK eye surgery, will affect a person's vision. The nomogram adjusts the way the laser interacts with a person's eye tissue, and that vastly reduces the chances that the patient's eyesight will end up nearsighted or farsighted after the procedure. And thanks to the nomogram, McRae's team has been able to slash by 2/3 the number of patients who needed additional procedures to finally get the better vision they were looking for. Currently, 99.3% of McRae's patients see 20/20 or better after refractive surgery. And the university has licensed this technology already to a company called Technolus Perfect Vision, a cataract and refractive laser company. A Rochester man is being treated for a gunshot wound at Strong Memorial Hospital after an attempted robbery early Friday. City police say this happened on Weld Street off North Street, just north of downtown. They responded to a report of shots fired to find a man who had been wounded in the leg. He was taken to Strong for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries, and police are investigating. Rochester police are also investigating what happened when a city child was rushed to Strong Memorial Hospital. Rural Metro Ambulance said paramedics were called to a house on Hurdle Street for a report of an unresponsive baby. There has been no word on that child's condition. To the left of this player window are links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links you can use to send us news items that you've written, and you can post them directly to us, tips, things you'd like to be checked out, and news about weddings, births, business announcements. We are a community news source, and we want to know these things. We'll post them right up here. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.